Yeah, hello again. I thought since I mostly use Craigslist, I thought I'd give you some tips on how to use it. I guess the first thing I'd say is, I guess just start a directory under your bookmark manager. I just call it Craigslist, and then I have some subcategories for other bookmarks. Usually broken down into systems like Dreamcast, Atari. Sometimes just locations: Vancouver, Langley, Burnaby. Free, yeah. Vintage computers, 360, Genesis, NES, Game Gear, Master System. And I have one for arcade PCB. Yeah, I hope to get some arcade stuff someday. I mostly just look for boards, they take up a lot less room than a whole cabinet. Yeah, okay, then we got Craigslist, all the different headings. I'll just go right to video gaming. So let me make it a little bigger here. Yeah, most of the time it just takes forever to go through every single listing that comes up. You're just better off using a search engine. Let's see, my most popular entries are NES, Genesis, Dreamcast, probably Game Gear, Game Boy, with a space in the middle. It's the same with Game Boy Color. Usually Game Boy Color and then Game Boy and then Color. Comes to the ColecoVision, you're better off just typing in Coleco. Depending on the area you're looking in, Coleco might bring up Cabbage Patch Dolls, but it's still the most dependable one to use is Coleco. And then television, it's and television works fine. There's no mistaking the word in television for anything else. I guess under the category of video gaming, typing in Nintendo is a waste of time because you'll just get tons of things and with no discrete topics there. It's the same thing. SNES, also Super Nintendo. You could try that too. When it comes to Atari, I just type in Atari. There's usually where I live, there's so few listings for Atari that I'll just look at anything Atari related. If I'm looking for 360s, I usually like them cheap, so I just type in Red Ring O'Death. On occasion, I've used the price minimum and maximum settings. You actually have to fill in both, otherwise it has no discretion. So, minimum price of 10 or a maximum price of $50. And if I get a lot of listings, I usually just switch to the location. That way I can it's just more manageable that way if you check from location to location. Okay, what do we got? 2 broken Xbox 360s, 1 Red Ring of Death, 2 Brothers Temper Tantrum. $45 a piece or $65 for both. Yeah, not bad. Not a great deal. I guess if I had the extra cash, I might go for that. Let's see. I have a Red Ring there, shorted out. Shorting out, I don't really like that idea. The CPU that's been shorted out, that'd be pretty hard to fix. We're not talking a reflow here. So that's, I don't know, $30 for a fried Xbox 360 and a Hitachi drive for an extra $5. That doesn't sound very good to me. Now, just for kicks, we'll go try the free stuff. Yeah. Usually with free stuff, I just, I type in all, or I pick the all location to get as many listings as possible. And I hate when it does that. Anyway, back to free stuff. Here I tend to just type in more generic settings, like more generic options like Nintendo under the free stuff category. Yeah, here's a Nintendo NES controller for free, available in Vancouver. And we just, if there's a location, you go, copy and paste that into your Google Maps here. See where the general location is. And I looked at this prior, so I already know where this is. Looks safe enough during the day. But we got this is near a train track, a few bars. Yeah, not the most horrible spot, but I don't know. Might go myself, but I wouldn't send anybody there. Plus, it's like a really far way to go just for a Nintendo controller. Yeah. Let's see, you got your... There are other generic, I guess generic places you could find video games on Craigslist, including collectibles. Like I said, collectibles, anything generic, you might probably just better off going Sega or Nintendo and input that. See what you can find. Usually under collectibles, the more generic you go, the better. Same thing with electronics. Electronics, try Nintendo. Generic as possible. You can try specifics, but, if you get too many listings. Computers. Now with the computers listing, I tend to go specific because it'll give you a lot of, you type in Macintosh, Apple, it'll just spit out thousands, maybe hundreds to thousands of listings. You're better off going specific for any searches for computers. The only generic heading I type into computers is probably vintage or retro. The last generic heading you have under here is just above video gaming, which is toys and games. Oftentimes people will actually post video games into that heading. And that's kind of 50-50. You can try generic company names or specific platforms. Now, let's see what we got under here. I typed in Nintendo under toys and games and I got a Killer Instinct 2 arcade cabinet. 500 bucks. Yeah, pretty cheap by arcade cabinet standards. It's not a very good picture. Of course, I don't have much in the way of picture options on Craigslist. Sometimes you'll luck out and you'll get like a really close shot of the item in question. That'll give you a good indication of the condition or quality of the item. Obvious things like holes or yellowing, that kind of thing. I guess there's things you can. There are things you don't waste your time on. Here we got it's either WTB, WTS. Usually WTB, I guess, or wanted. You can just avoid those unless you're interested in trading or something. Me personally, I hate that when people type in wanted something, because they could just type in the item in question and, you know, something will come up. Even if you check once a week, you know, you'll find something. May not be the price you like, but it's just bloody annoying when people type wanted this. You know, I want Nintendo, I want Chrono Trigger for a good deal. There was only one exception I made to that, these stupid wanted listings, which was it was a grandmother looking for games for a particularly old and rare system. It might have been a Magnavox Odyssey 2, and I gave her directions to places in her local area that she could find such things, and warned her about the price of such things, because they can, anything rare, you know, in retail will get expensive. And but it must have helped, because I haven't seen her listing since. Actually, speaking of the Magnavox Odyssey, Odyssey seems to be useless. A lot of games contain the word Odyssey, so you're better off with Magnavox. Sometimes you'll get like televisions and what have you, but most of the time that will filter out all the other crap that you don't want to find. But as far as like location, you have to, that's your own judgment on whether the price versus distance versus gas versus time, you know, factor works out for you. But it is something you have to consider. Okay, that's something I forgot to say about your bookmarked categories. You will have to maintain these over time. You'll have to go in and check to see which ones have expired or not, and then delete them as such. It's just a constant maintenance sort of thing. You know, regardless if you pursue things, these bookmarks here, you're going to have to maintain them. Yeah, there's always other options. I got a few local game stores and Kijiji. I know Atari Leaf has great success with Kijiji, and I've looked in the general area of where he lives, and I can see why he uses it a lot, because it's, you know, there's a lot of good stuff over there on the let's see, East Coast. He's more East Coast, and I'm on the West Coast. So on the West Coast, I find nothing under Kijiji most of the time. I try it every once in a while, but I usually just get a bunch of crazy people in Chilliwack who want way too much for their stuff. Seems like all I get is crazies on Chilliwack on Kijiji. Yeah, anyway, those are some of my general tips. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave comments below. Anything you'd like to know. I mean, some of it will, apply other times. I don't know what's on your Craigslist when you go looking, but it'll just depend. Anyway, I'll see you later.